The complete wiring harness will be officially removed from our VW Passat CC today. Hi everyone, welcome back to VAGZ Backyard, and in this episode we're going to be removing the wiring harness from the Passat. So I think we got to a point where we can already know exactly how many episodes left until we start working officially on our T5. So in this episode it's just the wiring harness, and the next episode we plan to remove the diff from the Passat. Thereafter we'll then transfer the T5 to the hoist bay, where we can start working now on the T5. So we're really excited and anxious about this. Before we get started working on the harness, somewhere here on the screen over here you can see this is our breakfast run poster. So this is the event coming up this Sunday. Everybody's welcome to join us. The plan there is that everyone can meet up here at the VAGZ Backyard Garage, where you can view the T5 current conversion that's in progress, and thereafter we'll be having a lucky draw where you stand a chance to win your very own VAGZ t-shirt. Yes, so you can win your own VAGZ t-shirt. After that, we then will convoy together to the V8 Roadhouse, where we'll do a park off and have a nice breakfast together. So before we get started with removal of the harness here, we've got some wires that's running up the pillar here into the roof. So we need to remove the complete roof lining from the Passat. I think let's get all our tools ready and get started with that first. Okay, so first step, we start removing the harness from the pillar. Let's get this harness off from the pillar. Okay, then we need to remove all this grab handles on the top. So you just have to open that up. Just need a small screwdriver, and we've got a bit in here. It's a torque screw. So that's one. That's two. And that should be removed. Okay, so we'll remove all four the same way. We've got all the grab handles removed. So next we remove the sun visor. So we just need to do that. It's got this cover that we got to open over there, and there's another torque screw behind that. Let's remove the torque screw. Okay, we've got two wires on here. This will be part of the harness. This is it's the switch, if I'm not mistaken. This is for the switch. So when you open this flap to use the mirror, the light switches on. So that will be part of the wiring for that light. Okay, so we've got that out. Then the small light can be removed as well. It just clips out quite easy. That's the plug for it. Okay, so for this other clip of the sun visor, we just got to open the cover over here, and strangely that one is it's a star screw, not a torque screw. So let's remove that one. There we go. So that's removed, and then we'll do the same for the sun visor on the passenger side. Okay, so next we need to remove this center console on the top here. We just need to open this covers. Open over there. This can be removed totally. We've got two screws over here. We need to remove them. Let's start off with that. Where's my tools? There we go. That's one. And two. So we've got that removed. So there's also some electronics on here. We'll unplug it for now. We'll see if this can work in the T5. These screws over here. That's one. That's two. Okay, we need to remove this piece over here. Let's quickly get that out. There we go. So that's out, and we've got another 2 small screws over there. There we go. So this unit is removed. Okay, good. So we've got that out, and then I think here in the center we've only got what's holding it. Looks like it's just clips on here, so we'll remove that now, and then this whole unit should be loose. Okay, then we're gonna move to the rear section of this lining to see what's holding on the rear. Okay, so the screws on the sides, on each side there, it's a plastic piece that's holding the lining on the corner. MS will remove that for us. See, there's one on that side and there's one on this left side over here. So MS will just take that out quickly for us. And then after those screws are out, we just need to remove this light over here. That's the cover, and I think it's just got clips that's holding it onto this lining. We'll just pull the clips out nicely and have that removed. Okay, it's just those 2 clips here. Pull that and this should come out. There we go. And we've got 1 wire on this side here, 1 plug that we got to remove. That's it. Okay, so put that fast nicely away. And we just got, it's just clips holding it there. Let's see. There we go. Okay. And then the center maybe. There we go. This seems to be almost out here. Okay, is your side loose?
Yeah, I think it's...
The side is loose. It also clips. There we go. So lining should be loose. Okay, I think that's fine. It's just the plastic on the corners. So the lining is loose, but we're gonna need to pause the camera and get out of the car first. So let's do that quick. Okay, so here on the top we've got some ribbon cable wiring running on this lining, so we just need to unplug the harness from there so that this lining is disconnected from the car's harness. That's it. So that was the only plug for the lining. That's for the lights and all that. So we've got it loose. Let's just find a way to get it out of the car. We need a gap that's gonna be big enough to get it past. Which side? It don't go through the boot, so we'll have to try maybe the back window here.
Yeah.
Alright, let's try that quickly. I need to get myself out of here. Okay, let's try and see if we can get out on MS side. But I doubt it. Nope. It's not gonna get out on that side. Which is the next best place? Front door. Wow.
We don't have to take the car for that.
There doesn't seem to be enough space to remove it from there. So it will have to be, must be the front doors. I think it's the front doors, eh? The boot section is too small to get it past here. The problem is the Passat CC's roof is very flat, so your window openings on the sides are really narrow for this lining to come out. We got to figure it out quickly and see how to do this. Let me get out of the car quick. You can stop. Okay, so we're going to try and fold it in the center. We'll have to fold it probably to remove these linings. You got to have the windscreen removed. And we don't want to remove the windscreen, so we're just going to have it folded and remove that way there. Just go slowly. That's it. So it's removed. Alright, good. So you're on the top. Now that the lining is removed, we can see here's the harness that we need. This is the one coming to for the mirror and also for the rain sensor. We need that harness. And on the rear as well, we've got some wires coming in here for the curtain airbags on the top. So you can see this quite a long curtain airbag running from the one pillar to the other on each side. So let's quickly remove this harness. Covers. There we go. So that's the two halves. Let's keep them together, and need to find this wiring harness plug here sitting inside here at the back. Need to open these clips on the side. There's this big steel clips. Let's get them open. The one, and that's the old mirror loose. There we go. Just remove those pieces. There's a lot of small plastic pieces that's together here. There's one plug over there. It's for the rain sensor. There is the clip for it. We don't want to break the clips. Let's have a look nicely. Okay, that one's out, and we still have one in here. This is for the mirror itself. That one there, that's for the auto darkening mirror. So that harness is removed. I think we need to label up these wires so we know what's going on over here. Okay, then we're gonna get to the rear section. Cool. Got this whole piece loose here. Let's see. One piece is on that side. All this goes through here. There we go. So this looks like it's a wheel speed sensor. We need to get to behind the back wheels and unplug the wheel speed sensor and bring the wire through here. So I forgot about the wheel speed sensors for the rear. So we'll get that out now. On this cover to get the wires out here. There we go. It's out over there. Another cover on this side. There we go. And we just need to break this tape off there. Got this out there. Okay, so the left side is almost done. We just need to get the wheel sensor loose and then we're almost there. It's getting really hot in here. I'm now sweating a lot. Okay, so we're gonna do the right side the same and then we try and get to the wheel speed sensors. Okay, so these wires in the center, we're now ready to remove the complete harness. we just need to lift the car to get this wheel speed sensors removed from there. And then we also have these wires over here that's running in there. This here, I think this is for the brake calipers. That's for the handbrake motors on the calipers. There's one on the left and there's one on the right. So I think let's check the car up and try and check underneath to get those last few wires into the cabin, and then we can have this whole lot of wires removed. Let's do that. Okay, so we got the car lifted up. This is the harness that's going to the brake caliper. We need to have this one removed. Let's quickly, while we're at it, take this plug out. Okay, that's the one, and we need to remove it from in here. I told you it's got sort of pins on the side. It's plastic clips. Yeah, see, it's so easy from that side. Let's try this. That's 1, 2. Then I need a side cutter. Let's go with the side cutter. That's one there. Okay, here's another one over here. These are just securing the cable onto the body. And up here, let's get the light. So that's the grommet going into the car. So this should be able to go into the car once we remove the grommet from the inside. Okay, so we'll do the same on the left side, and then it will be the wire on the diff. Okay, so now we've got the left side caliper disconnected. We just have this Haldex for the diff. That's harness that's running here on top of the tank. I hope there is not some other clips that's securing the harness onto the body on top of the fuel tank. Otherwise it's going to be really complicated, but let's try. We just got one plug that's sitting underneath over there. There's it there at the back. So I'm just going to remove that. I think I can get my hand in on the top here. There we go. That one's out. So it's got 8 pins on it. There's a lot of wires. And then we just got this clip securing it onto the fuel tank bracket. And then that's the wire. Feels like there's nothing securing it there. We're gonna have to lower the car and see when you pull out the grommet if these wires come out. Oh crap, you know what? Here's another wire running here. Where is this wire going for the sensor? We need to check. I forgot about that one. It's running here on top. We need to trace it and see. We need to track it and see nicely where it goes. It's running to the top there. Securing it, but it's located on top of this, on top of the subframe. Let's check what's happening on top of the car. Maybe there's a separate plug that separates this harness from the main harness. Hopefully we're lucky that we can get it removed like that. Okay, let's start off with the right side. This is the wire inside the car for the handbrake caliper on the right side. There we go. And then we've got a grommet over here. That's the wire that we unplugged from the bottom. There we go. It's coming through. Just get this plug nicely through without damaging it. There we go. So we've got it. So we label this to be the right side handbrake, and then we'll do the same on that side there. And we're still trying to figure out where is the harness for, that's the leveling, the vehicle level sensor. I think it's this wire that's running over here to together with the speed sensor. I'm gonna check now. So we still need to remove the wheel speed sensors. There's one on that side and one on this side here. So we'll just get those quickly unplugged and bring them into the car. But from what I see now, there's no other wires going down. It's only the two wheel speed sensors on the left and the right post. So here in the arch, it goes in, it's behind the cover underneath. And then right on the hub, there'll be a speed sensor there. We just need to unplug that and we should be okay. Alright, let's do that. Okay, so it was a long struggle underneath the car. The problem we had was the wheel speed sensor harness that was running to the bottom. So the one goes to the wheel speed sensor and there's another one that goes to the leveling sensor. I tried my best battling and fighting with this wire to try and get it out, but it's a lot of work. We have to drop the fuel tank to try and get this plug past of this harness, so we couldn't get it out. I then made the decision we cut the wire, so we'll have to see on the T5 to make a join on it, but it's not the worst thing that happened. I think we'll manage this, but it's actually disappointing. We managed to get all the plugs except this one. This was the only one holding the complete harness of the Passat in the car that was holding us back to remove it. Okay, but we've got it now out, it's cut. I think let's start moving everything to the front. MS, you do on your side, I'll go on my side. So we have here steering lock. Can you do me a favor? Let's get a masking tape quickly right on it. This is the, let's say, steering lock module. Let's quickly get that out. There we go. So we just need to label this one over here, and that's the steering lock. The harness is now loose. I'm just gonna give one last label on this plug. This was the steering lock on the steering column, and then I think we are done with all the plugs. So you got it? Thank you. So let's label that up, and we're gonna pull this wiring harness out of the Passat, and we got this done. Okay, so we're ready to get it out. Let's try and get it out that back door over there, right? Okay, so let's get the wires out. So a lot of wires. Right, checking it's working anyway. Okay, they're down. Got it? Yeah. Okay. Let's put this wire down. Oh my soul, that's a lot of wires. I think it's good that we label all the stuff because we'll forget what is what. Look at this. That's a lot. So we finally got the Passat donor car's wires out. This will all be going into our T5, but it's a lot of wires, I must say. So we'll be building this into the T5, but at least, as you can see inside the Passat here, it's now completely naked on the inside. We just got a last ABS module that we need to remove out there. The only nice thing left in here is the DSG shifter. Anyways, but that's the Passat. So I think, yeah, that brings us to the end of this episode. What we're gonna do is, in our next episode, it's the removal of the diff. And like I said, we then one step closer, we will move the T5 onto the hoist bay, and we're gonna start working on the T5. So we're getting really excited about this. So thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.